Hello guys. I'm not too sure how long I'll stream for because um kind of sleepy already. I'm just checking warnings real fast. Okay. Yep. All looks good to me. Status complete. What? Did my things get here finally? Oh wait. Label created. You're telling me that it took this long for this turnaround. Okay, let me go check my mailbox real fast. I'll be right back. Okay, hello. I forgot to mute my microphone, but that's okay. You're telling me that my order was supposed to come in today, right? My order was supposed to come in today, and they just got my order situated. Like it if I go to track this shipment and oh man, that they only created a label today, I think, I guess, or my stuff is finally actually it actually exists and it's a thing that's tangible now. It's not just something that they still need to make. You're telling me that it took this long, this amount of time, this long of a turnaround period till the day that I get or that my order is supposed to arrive that they finally actually print the label for it. Now, that's ridiculous. I don't really know what to say about that. Um I honestly thought my order might not even be like coming because of just how late it was. Like I thought they probably just scammed me. Like the company eventually just got so deep in the ground that just so deep in the ground that they just started to scam people, you know? Just like we're deep enough. We've already hit rock bottom. Might as well start scamming. Like obviously that's horrible, but I feel like that I don't know. I feel like just based off what I've heard from some of these people or from the people about this company, I'm not going to name the company because one, I don't want to get into legal trouble, and two, I don't want obviously I'm not going to get into legal trouble, but still some people might try. Um it like I'm not going to name the company because I'll know I'll get shit for it, and I didn't realize that they were what they were doing before or like until after I ordered my shit. Um, but now that I know, I probably won't be doing business with them anymore. With the information that I know now, on top of just how obnoxiously long it's taken them to get my order ready. But you know, I don't really know. I'm not too happy that's taken this long for my stuff to only have its label printed for. Hey, that's okay. That's okay, I guess. I suppose that's okay for now. Um, the weather. Let's focus on the weather, shall we? Let's focus on that instead. So, I am gonna do some forecasting because I actually haven't looked at the risk for severe weather today, except for when I was looking at models yesterday. So we are looking at possibly some isolated severe development back towards the high plains. Um, that might either form into some sort of MCS or there might be some sort of MCS that forms. The 12Z HRRR run yesterday was showing something like a very powerful MCS. So that's what I want to look at. I already have pivotal weather pulled up somewhere. It's not here. I know that much. Hold on, let me close this. I'll keep weatherwise open. Okay, so let me switch us over to the Storm Prediction Center. So right now, there's nothing too crazy going on that really requires my attention. I mean, there's some severe thunderstorms. I don't think there's actually any ongoing development right now at this. Oh, actually, never mind. I spoke too soon. There is storm initiation beginning in the enhanced risk area as we speak, but shouldn't take too long for us to just briefly forecast. If anything, I'll just use href to streamline the forecasting process for now. Sorry. I saw someone on Twitter. It's kind of funny. Okay. Storm Prediction Center. What am I doing? Okay. Storm Prediction Center. Here we go. Yeah, that looks okay. Hold on. Can I change this so it's not okay? That looks a bit better. Actually, hold on. Let me undo that. Hold on. And window capture. Select window to capture. Storm Prediction Center. Okay, and then let me move this down. Boom. So now if I need to switch back to GR2 Analyst, I don't have to mess with the sizing of the windows to make GR2 Analyst look better. Sorry, hold on. Today's news. Storm fan screenshot confession draws photographer backlash. What could that possibly mean? Y'all bought device storm chasers with sass and glitches. Storm chaser Reed Timbers never stop chasing hits trailer. Oh, hits theaters August 21st. Ooh, holy, that's actually awesome. Oh man, I might see that in theaters. Okay, sorry, I keep stalling. I keep getting distracted. Okay, so enhanced risk for the high plains, eastern Colorado, and parts of southeastern Wyoming. Slight risk extending down across the Central Plains, Kansas, Oklahoma, northern Texas. Slight risk for northern Minnesota, and then a slight risk across the eastern seaboard. Tornado risk for today, 2% across the enhanced risk region, and then into a great portion of that slight risk area. So Oklahoma and Texas, 5% tornado risk for that slight risk region in Minnesota. 2% tornado risk for the eastern seaboard there. Then we also do have a marginal risk for northern Florida and right along the border of Alabama and Georgia. Wind, we have a SIG 1 15% for the enhanced risk region, and the rest of the slight risk region surrounding that enhanced risk region. So the possibility of significant intensity level 1 severe weather or damaging wind gusts, I guess. I'm still not familiar with what that even means when it comes to SIG 1, so we'll look at it real fast. We'll look at this real fast. SIG 1. A 10% threat for 65 to 73 knots. 56 to 64. 31% for 56 to 64 knots, and 55% for 50 to 55 knots. So probably gonna see anywhere between 50, potentially upwards of 70 knots, 73 knots, maybe approaching 74 into the mid 70s, but that's seems to be rare. So let's see, 73 knots to miles per hour, 84 miles per hour. So we could see anywhere from like, I'm guessing 60 to 80 mile per hour wind gusts, 84 mile per hour wind gusts, possibly even higher. Let's go back here. We have a 30% unhatched for the eastern seaboard there, for damaging wind gusts. So some widespread damaging wind gusts, some more scattered damaging wind gusts towards the high plains. More widespread threat for damaging wind gusts that are probably going to be mostly between like 60 to 70 mile per hour. Probably not reaching 80 mile per hour, unlike the high plains across the eastern seaboard. And then a 5% risk for damaging wind gusts for that marginal threat near Florida. And for hail, the enhanced risk today is a hail-driven threat. The 30% SIG 1 for the enhanced risk region, and that SIG 1 extending down to the rest of the slight risk. And let's see here. Let's go back to our little thing. Based off of that, that appears that we're probably gonna see probably between 1.5 inches to 2.5 inches. So could see hail that it does approach like 2 inches in size. What am I? Why can you do that? 2 inches in size, in diameter. So pretty substantial risk for hail. It's pretty much just the same thing that we saw yesterday, but we do have a higher threat for hail. But we could see the same intensity of hail. So pretty much just the same thing as what we saw yesterday. Some huge hail like we did see yesterday. ARRR. We'll go to our most recent run. Starting off with our jet stream. So we do have a trough. I assume it's the same trough from yesterday that was giving up severe weather across the Tennessee Valley yesterday, moved eastward into the eastern seaboard, and is providing synoptic lift for a severe threat across the eastern seaboard. Further south near Florida, don't really see as much, but we do see that trough, some weaker flow impinge in that region, overlay that region. So there is a little bit of synoptic lift to support severe weather development down towards Florida. Up north, towards that other slight risk, where that 5% tornado risk is, we do have this trough here with a little bit more synoptic lift. Sort of. Wait, what am I saying? We have, it's more, what am I trying to say here? It's more or less directly feeding into that region. So we're gonna see probably some better shear come out of that region, and a higher threat for tornadoes, but sufficient synoptic lift overall. Same with the cross enhanced risk region. Some decently strong mid-level flow at 500 millibars across the slight risk and enhanced risk regions. Enhanced risk region, sorry. We can go up to our 200 millibars here, see what that looks like in terms of hail. Not really going to see too much of a hail risk across the eastern seaboard. Maybe a little bit of a hail threat, but it does appear that we don't really have a whole lot of upper level. Wait, let me just verify. Yeah. Not really going to see too much of a hail risk across the eastern seaboard. Definitely not really going to see too much of a hail risk across the Florida region. Could see a bit of a hail risk for that slight risk region up north, where we could see the possibility of a couple of tornadoes across Minnesota, with some decently strong 200 millibar flow, and then across the high plains, again, where we're going to see that risk for hail. So already you can just see based off the simulator sounding pretty elongated photographs. Not a whole lot of curvature in the low levels of those photographs though, so a little bit more of a marginal tornado threat. And that's what's going to be causing our hail threat today. We can go down to our 200 or our low level jet, sorry, our 700 millibars. Let's focus on the area that we're going to see that 5% tornado threat. We do have a decent low level jet with 700 millibar flow. That's going to be ramping up to what appears to be roughly around 30 knots, 35 knots, maybe approaching 40 knots. Definitely going to put some curvature in the low levels of those photographs. That's not really a good example. Neither is that. Let's look at our 850 millibars real fast. You can see some rather weak flow at 850 millibars. Let's look at our storm relative velocity real fast. Okay, yeah, you can definitely tell that there is some shear there. I'm not choosing the right areas. And that severe risk might, oh no, it's just starting actually, across Minnesota. Yeah, no, you can tell that there's some shear. Look at the way that this storm right here is shaped. Oh, wait, hold on, you can't see that. I was looking at radar scope. Whoopsie. Where's radar scope? Why won't it let me choose radar scope? Why is it always doing this? I don't understand. Okay, let me restart radar scope. Still doesn't want me to switch to radar scope. So I guess we'll use GR2 analyst instead. Oh, now it lets me switch to radar scope. All right, here we are. So as I was saying, look at the curvatures towards the updraft side. of the storm in particular. You can already see it kicking out an outflow boundary. You can kind of see it hooking here. Over here is where the updrap's going to be, so it's going to be a little bit more surface based. So the reflectivity is going to be picking up stuff closer to the surface. And then as it gets into the higher altitudes of the atmosphere, it kind of curves off to the north and then to the east, kind of symbolizing those photographs a little bit. So you can definitely tell that there is some directional shear there. It's going to be sufficient for a tornado risk later on this afternoon. Hopefully you guys saw that. For some reason, it's a blank screen. Okay, yeah, you did see that. Okay, back to HRRR. You can definitely tell that there is some directional shear there. So even if we don't really have the greatest 850 millibar flow, definitely tell that it is trying. There is some curvature in the low levels of the photographs, going to be sufficient for a little bit of a tornado risk. Just look at our thermodynamic profile though. Actually, hold on. Low level jet for the high plains because we didn't look at that. Not really a noticeable strong low level jet across the high plains. Maybe a little bit of stronger 700 millibar flow down towards Texas. But okay. So there is definitely some weak low level flow across the high plains. It's mostly down towards western Texas and New Mexico, especially at 850 millibars. So rather marginal tornado risk for the high plains. Probably not really going to see too much of a tornado risk actually verify. It's probably not really going to be realized from this setup. So I mean, if I was targeting for a risk for tornadoes today, I think I'd chase down here. I'm not gonna lie. Stronger low level jet. Whew, that's a stout cap though. That is a really stout cap. But that's a fat cape profile. There's not really a whole lot of low level flow off towards New Mexico, or not New Mexico, Minnesota. But that's a loaded gun sounding that we just saw there. That we just saw. Yeah, this is a loaded gun sounding. If I was chasing, I'd chase here. That looks beautiful. Down towards the Texas Panhandle, Western Texas. Whoo, man. Apparently there's something going down near Amarillo. Let me take a look at that real fast. Oh yeah, it's some beautiful. Ooh, yeah, exactly. Okay. Remember what I was saying, loaded gun? Let me switch this back over to radar scope. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Woo! Look at that hook. Look at that structure. That's a classic supercell. Oh man, I need to get a photo of that. I told you. What did I tell you? What did I tell you? Oh man, you can see the boundary too. Whoo! What did I tell you? That's pretty. I'm gonna get a photo of that. It's a classic supercell. That's one for the textbooks right there. Yeah, I still got some storm initiation going off towards Colorado. Still in its very early stages though. Yep. Not very organized up towards Minnesota though. And the threat across the eastern seaboard looks like it's already moved out into the Atlantic. And you have some marginal severe thunderstorms that are kicking out outflow boundaries in Florida, northern Florida. I wonder where I can get an observed sounding at. I'm curious. Soundings. Why am I not getting my soundings? Maybe they just need a minute to load. I don't know. It's okay. But man, isn't that beautiful? Oh yeah. That's textbook right there. Alright, let's go back to... Dude, I would love to chase in Colorado. It looks so beautiful over there. Oh man, I'm jealous of everyone out there right now. I'm gonna be honest, I'm hella jealous. Okay though, let's switch back to HRRR. Let me make this look just a bit better for you guys. You can zoom it out here. Yeah, if I was looking for a tornado threat, if I was trying to chase tornadoes today, I'd go to Western Texas. I would actually target around Armillo. What town is that? Amarillo. Oh, Yeah, would you? Look at that. Okay, I don't know where the low levels of those photographs went, but sure. This is why I never use observed soundings, because they're never, like, I mean, they're good, but they're never, ever close to where I need them to be. And if they are, then they look stupid. And they're not maneuverable, they're not as maneuverable, and they're not um, as frequent and readily available as, like, simulated ones from models, even though they aren't as accurate to real life. Let's look at our actual thermodynamic profile. Up north and near Minnesota, it looks like there's already a huge cold pool forming. I don't know if that's from storms that have already been ongoing, or if it's just like that. Let me check. Let me go back to like 12Z or something. Yeah, okay, no, it does look like the severe threat across Minnesota is mostly already diminished, and we kind of missed it, but that's okay. And that's why there's a cold pool across that area, because of all that rain. So might see something develop out of it, but overall I think we're a little bit too late to that party. Now mostly just gonna be hail risk, it appears. Elevated hail. And then I'm not really too worried about Florida or the eastern seaboard, so we're gonna change our perspective to this where we can see a bit better. So we got a lot of heat across this region, tons of heat. Like anywhere from 100 degrees down towards Texas. You can see the boundary here too. We do have a little bit of a warm front here, but between it's more about like a hot front actually. It's insanely hot. You got 100-degree temperatures bordering 80 mid 80 upper 80-degree temperatures, creating sort of a triple point system, because there is also a boundary line here you can tell as well. There's also a little bit of a dry line here that is creating a bit of a triple point. So, dude, if I was chasing, I'd be chasing around Amarillo right now. So definitely need to watch Western Texas, Texas Panhandle for a tornado threat. Obviously, the tornado threat does still exist for Eastern Colorado, but it is very marginal. Why was I recommending my own video? Yep. Okay, sorry, I was texting my mom, but near that triple point as well, there's gonna be more backed winds, that are gonna assist with sorry, directional shear. We also do have quite a bit of backed winds across eastern Colorado, but also regardless, some very warm temperatures, even if the surface flow is further to the south. Pull a quick sounding. Yeah, this is screaming hail threat opposed to tornado threat. Actually, I see virtually no tornado threat with that. Dew points, as I was saying, we do have a dry line kind of firing off here. See that dry line, then where that warm front is right here, narrow corridor for where a nice little tornado threat would develop, maybe even past that dry line as well, or past that warm front. I mean, still very, very nice kinematic profile, even ahead of that warm front. I mean, look at that insanely fat K profile, 5,000 joules per kilogram of surface-based instability, and a ton of shear. You have a ton of moisture too, really deep moist layer. Further to the north, it's not as moist, but it's definitely sufficient, especially with the heat that we're seeing. And then around this time of year, you're gonna see some pretty high Cape values, also because of lapse rates. I can already tell you, because of how hot it is, lapse rates are gonna be through the fucking roof. I mean, yeah, look at that. Whew. Through the roof across Western Texas Panhandle. I mean, maybe not as through the roof as I was thinking, but still really high. So not only is that going to help with our hail risk, and some insanely huge hail, but also just instability in general and our overall storm threat. Surface-based convective inhibition. Yeah, so as we saw earlier on some of those simulated soundings, we have a ton of convective inhibition. Even if the cap's already broken, probably going to keep storms mostly isolated and discrete. And then we also don't have as widespread of forcing that we do when it comes to like other more intense severe weather setups. So storms are also probably going to remain rather discrete. But then as storms do fire, we have like a good 4 hours before that cap really takes hold and becomes a lot stronger. And pretty much diminishes our tornado threat. Likely won't see too much of a tornado threat past 1Z or 0 or 0 2 1Z or 02Z 02Z to EST. Hold on, I'm just trying to check. That's 9 p.m. So 9 p.m. EST. Between 9 and 8 p.m. EST is when our tornado threat should mostly die down. Surface-based cape. Yeah, ton of instability. Storms unfortunately won't be firing into the area here where it has insanely high cape values, but still in that little warm sector there, we still have some insanely sufficient cape values, like 3,000, 2,000 joules per kilogram, right in that little warm sector there. But if storms can move beyond this warm front here, into where it's more moist, more warm. Well, it's not as warm, but more moist, and a lot more instability. I wonder how this can affect our. Oh, okay, this is already tornado warned. I had a feeling. I had a feeling. What did I tell you guys? I knew it was gonna do that. So now we have a tornado warning in effect for mostly rural areas of eastern Texas. Actually, hold on, I have cities off. Whoops. Yeah, mostly rural areas of western Texas here, just to the west of Amarillo. Every storm chaser in Amarillo must be giddy as all you can get out of. I would be insanely happy right now. I mean, look at that hook. See that rotation as well. Whew. I mean, it doesn't look the greatest, but it's certainly rotating. Definitely deserves that tornado threat or tornado warning. So tornado warning does remain in effect for rural areas of western Texas. All right. All that does its thing. I will go back to HRRR. Oh, no, it's already here. Hold on. Let me show you guys. I forgot to show you guys this. Look at that. Tornado warning for the storm just to the west of Amarillo, Texas, and western, or just, yeah, in western Texas. Very beautiful supercell, and very close to the radar site. Every storm chaser in Amarillo must be very happy. I mean, just look at that. Oh man, that is textbook right there. And my velocity no longer wants to work again. It's okay. I'll just switch back to GR2 analyst for now. Actually, maybe I don't want to use GR2 analyst. It's a bit behind. We're actually going to go back to HRRR so I can continue forecasting. As I was saying, again, tornado threat is mostly going to be isolated to western Texas, it appears, as we don't really have a whole lot of shear across eastern Colorado, at least directional shear. I'm certain we have a ton of bulk shear for that risk for hail. Very elongated photographs we're going to see both in western Texas and across eastern Colorado and into southern Wyoming, Nebraska panhandle like we did yesterday. Where we're going to see that major hail risk. Some, again, very elongated photographs. I mean, look at that. Trying to see if I can find our sig hail. Oh, never mind. I don't want this. I'm looking for something else. I can't remember where it is, though. T cave down T. Where is it? I can't find it. I don't know where it is. Oh, here it is. I think. I can't remember. I don't remember what the parameter was called, but regardless, still a big threat for hail there. I mean, look at that. And then we can look at our storm relative helicity again. Not really a whole lot of directional shear outside of one particular location of western Texas where that tornado risk is currently ongoing. And we can look at energy helicity index. Yeah, again, mostly limiting that tornado threat across Texas Panhandle, even into Oklahoma some. I mean, we could definitely see a marginal risk for tornadoes across eastern Colorado, but I really don't know how likely that is, especially given the intense convective inhibition that we're supposed to see later on this afternoon. I mean, SIGTOR definitely giving us the thumbs up when it comes to tornado possibility. Okay, maybe perhaps. Okay, maybe convective inhibition isn't going to be as onset as I really think it is, because you can definitely tell that curvature in the low levels of hodograph, elongated hodographs. So combination with that tornado and hail threat, fat Cape profile, not a whole lot of convective inhibition, and it is surface based as well. So we definitely see a marginal tornado threat across eastern Colorado. But that's really all the forecasting I wanted to do. Actually, no, it's not. I wanted to go to here. Hold on, just give me 1 second. That's funny. You can see how much I use pivotal weather just based off of my immediate results from Opera GX. Okay, I really wish there was a better way for you guys to view this without it looking kind of dumb. Here, we'll do this. Oh no, I don't want to do that. We'll do this for now. Make it a bit easier for you guys. How many times am I have to ban people on Twitch for having to, or for it's all the bots trying to advertise their stupid little program of whatever the hell it is. I don't even really care. Okay. Sorry. I was wanting to look at the WPC outlook as well for excessive rainfall. Seems like the excessive rainfall threat's mostly going to be limited back towards the eastern seaboard, across coastal Virginia, coastal southern Virginia, and then also across the central plains for Kansas, a great portion of Oklahoma, northern Texas, northern Louisiana, Arkansas, southwest Missouri, and eastern Colorado. For tomorrow, slight risk across a lot of the same region, just extending down to the Dixie states a bit more, and then also marginal threat for the Four Corners and back into Nevada and Southern California. Slight risk for a lot of the Rockies, marginal risk for a lot of the Rockies, slight risk for Central Plains into the Mississippi Valley, Missouri, Illinois, and then marginal threat down towards southern Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, and northern Florida. Day 4 and Day 5, marginal threats for flash flooding in various locations of the Ohio River Valley, and then also the northern central plains. There is a confirmed tornado on the ground with this storm right here. Actually, hold on, GR2 analyst. Let me switch back to GR2 analyst. There is a observed tornado on the ground in just west of Amarillo, Texas right now. Even if the outlook isn't updated or the warning isn't updated, yeah, I am gonna update this thing here. So observed tornado warning now confirmed, or tornado now confirmed on the ground for or just to the south of Wildorado, and moving south as well. Again, beautiful storm on this thing. Tornado just to the west of Amarillo. That has been confirmed by storm chasers. Oh, sorry, never mind. I completely misread that. Whoopsie. Holy cow, that's fumble of the century. Whew, man, I did not mean to do that. Lightning induced fire on Amarillo, Texas supercell 5 p.m. 39 minutes ago. So not a confirmed tornado, but a tornado warning does continue. It looked like to me that there was it was a dust cloud, that there was a tornado on the ground, but it was just a lightning induced fire. Completely ignore everything I said about the whole tornado being confirmed, because there's not a confirmed tornado. It's just so dumb. Sorry, I was looking at something. Oh wait, I just realized we're not even on. God damn it! Wait, no, that's not even what. I want this. There we go. Sorry, guys. You're staring at radar scope this entire time. Tornado warning does still continue, but mostly rural areas. Wildorado's out of the danger zone now. Yep, tornado warning kind of just. Oh, it is getting real tight though there. Now look at that. See on reflectivity as well. No indication that's on the ground yet on correlation coefficient. There is rotation. It's tightening up though. It is tightening up. Yeah, kind of just sitting here watching this. time being. Is mostly in rural areas. I mean, we can look over here. We do have some developing storms. Um, Mostly just outflow dominant hailstorms right now. Some big hail on some of these storms though. Hail reports up to 1 inch near Colorado Springs. And then also a storm off to the north as well that might have done a left split. No, I don't think it's a left split. Well, at least I can't tell. But um, Black Forest and Peyton, Colorado, around less than an inch of hail, but approaching an inch. Ooh, some big hail on this storm here. At least an inch. Severe thunderstorm warning for Chugwater. Some pretty big hail. It's a hail threat. We go back south to the tornado warning. Yeah, look at that. That's tightening up real nice. Tornado warning still in effect for mostly rural areas just to the west of Amarillo. I'm low-key jealous. This would look beautiful right now. And look at that. Pretty. Fake out of the year goes to this thing. Bro, give it some time, man. That was 29 minutes ago. Got tornado warning on it now. It's got some tight rotation on it too. Ooh, it might even be on the ground. Look at that correlation coefficient drop. Right there underneath all that rotation. Right there in the center. Might be a correlation coefficient drop. Might be on the ground. Depends. But yeah, just watching this thing. Whew, that is a beautiful supercell. Very textbook. Very, very textbook. People are saying fake out of the year, but man. I mean, I'm seeing the photos of it from like 40 minutes ago, 30 minutes ago. It has a little bush fire underneath it. It was likely caused by lighting, but it's probably gonna be put out by the rain from this thing. Unless it starts another one. But now the rotation doesn't look as good. It might have been on the ground briefly though. I mean, look at how tight that got for a second. For kind of broadening out, dying out. Now it doesn't look as organized. I wonder what type of stuff we'll see from this here soon. There is a ton of hail in this thing though. Ton of large hail. Certainly, definitely not a question with this. It's certainly trying to rotate. It was rotating quite nicely just a couple of minutes ago. Now it doesn't really want to do it anymore. It's unfortunate. This thing was beautiful. I mean, still, it's really beautiful. It's a beautiful supercell. I really don't know how else to put it. It's very textbook. Never seen anything quite like it. Actually, I've seen stuff quite like it, but man, it starts looking at something funny. Looks like it's trying to wrap back up again here. Let me pull up mesoanalysis real fast. See what that appears like. Mesoanalysis. Yeah, no, there's a ton of instability. There is some convective inhibition impinging on this environment, though. But yeah, no, this storm in particular is in the hotspot. Hotspot for tornadic development. The funny thing is, though, that this will probably be like the best example of tornadic development that we see today. Anything else will probably look very messy, most likely absurdly rain-wrapped. Probably not even that good, maybe even very brief. Let me tune in my own live stream elsewhere just to make sure that chat isn't just broken. It's gonna take a minute for it to load, but that's okay. Yeah, I can tune in on my phone. Oh, it loaded. Just checking my phone real fast. I have a odd suspicion that for some reason, I mean, I know there's only 3 people watching right now, which is actually more than the hell? I can't even type in weather. What do I get? I get max velocity. Yeah, that makes sense. Texas Storm Chasers, Ventwalty. Get Y'allbot. Get Y'allbot again. Storm Rudder Media. Care 11. Ryan Hall, y'all. Reed Timmer. It's obvious I'm not gonna see me though. Man, I love you. Wait, no, I did see me. Oh, got my new short video. Let me tune in my own live stream here just to check live chat. No, live chat looks fine. I don't. Just that no one watches, or whenever they watch, they don't say anything. I know that Ray does though, which I appreciate. I appreciate that, Ray. If Ray is watching right now, but this thing is might be trying to organize back up again. It is still rotating. At least it's trying to. It might be getting cut out by RP though. I know a lot of the stuff down there. People are saying great RFD cut. I know everyone there is saying the supercell is gorgeous, and I'm jealous. I'm not gonna lie, I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous. But yep, this is very textbook looking. It's kind of struggling though. It is kind of struggling. Yeah, I know rotation is really having problems here. It's very unorganized. Doesn't look very conducive right now. They might expire the tornado warning. I'm thinking they just might. What about some of these other storms here? A couple of severe storms going off around Colorado Springs. Seeing a second round of of a strong severe thunderstorm with heavy precipitation, likely some large hail as well for Colorado Springs. Just had this hailer go through, but it does look like it's dying down. Then some very large hail off to the north with 2.15, 2.15 inch diameter hail, just to the north of Peyton. Some huge hail. Again, huge hail is going to be with these storms across Colorado, Wyoming, even down into Texas, Kansas, parts of Oklahoma, and whatnot. Large hail on these two storms as well. Huge hail, 1.9 inch, or 1.09, 1.58 inches on the northern cell there. Right along the interstate too. Ouch, that must hurt. We'll look back at the tornado. Oh, they expired the tornado warning. So we are going to keep eyes on this storm though. Actually, there are storms to the south of it. What do they look like? Ooh. Ooh, this one appears to be rotating, or at least trying to. Has a hook. Two couplets though, two separate updrafts. Large hail on this storm though. 1.69 inches. Whew, that's big. Some huge hail. 1.86 inches on this. Severe thunderstorm warning for Underwood, Hail Center, Alley, and Abernathy, I think. Then off to the west for Amherst and Sudan and Littlefield. 2.9 inch hail. Oh man. At least some huge hail on these storms. Huge hail. If anyone wants to say anything in chat, feel free to. I will read it. I'm kind of just talking to myself right now. Kind of do that a lot on this channel. I feel like I'm professional at talking to myself. Ooh, this might be trying to wrap back up again. Look at that. RFD might be trying to cut back through, but it's very messy and unorganized right now. It might be struggling a bit. I'm certain some of these one of these severe thunderstorm warnings is destructive. Let me just check though, just to make sure I have the right to update what is currently displayed on my screen and on stream. Actually, it might not even be. There's a chance that one of them might not even be. Damage threat considerable. Yeah, none of them are actually destructive. Funny enough. Ones are considerable. Oh, this one's a considerable severe thunderstorm. Some huge hail. 1.75 inches. It's a lot bigger than what the hail icon's showing there for the storm. Yeah, north of Amarillo. Oh, that was an hour ago. Never mind, that does make sense. Dude, I wish I could just be north of west of Amarillo right now. Southwest of Amarillo. Man, I don't understand how much I'd pay to be over there. Sorry, I thought I saw a red polygon up north, but I didn't. While we watch this, I'm kind of gonna try to get a Instagram reel that I made. I made the short video that's currently on my channel, most recent short video. I couldn't get it to go on Instagram Reels because I think the file might be too big, which is why I'm shoving it in my Google Drive. I'm not sure why my thing's saying 21 hours ago. That's weird. Does it say that on desktop, or is it just like a mobile glitch? That doesn't even say that on desktop. That's weird. It says it on mobile though. It says my stream is 2 hours ago. kind of funky. Yeah, I don't think this has the steam in it anymore to really produce a tornado. It's very unorganized. Doesn't look very great. Just not anymore. Sorry, I'm not saying anything right now. I'm trying to post that video. Why does the audio sound like that? What? Hold on. Let me just make sure it's not like that on YouTube too. Yeah, I know the audio is like that for some reason. Not sure why. Let me check YouTube just to be sure. I'm pretty sure it's not like that, but what the hell? Oh, I can't even hear it on here. Okay, it's muted, that's why. That's weird. I don't know why the audio sounds like that. Is it like that on my phone? No, it's not. For some reason, Instagram just doesn't like it, I guess. I don't know if you hear that, but that's the audio that I'm getting. I don't know if the audio just needs to be quieter. I really don't know. Save copy. Trying to see if I can fix it. Yeah, that was much louder. Okay. Start over with this one. Yeah, that's much better. Okay, fellas. We're back, fellas. Oh yeah, no, this storm went elevated real fast. Does not look good. We'll go back up here instead. Got a couple of hailers. I do have some food now, so I am gonna eat that and watch some YouTube as well. Alright guys, hello. We're back in business. I ate. Now I'm full. Actually very full. Alright, so before we do anything, I am gonna update our warnings. Yeah, there is a tornado warning somewhere. Ooh. Hold on, there's a tornado warning. Very far from a radar site though. But look at that. And you can tell. Can't get any. Hold on, we're gonna switch to. Oh no! Okay, never mind. We're not gonna switch to radar scope because it doesn't want me to use velocity for some reason. But yeah, tornado warning is in effect for Bakita, however you pronounce that town, Minnesota. You live in the affected area, take shelter immediately. There was a reported funnel cloud, but it is being indicated as radar indicated. So, but there is a tornado warning. Oh wait, hold on. Let me update. There's a tornado warning in effect for Bakita, Minnesota. Then take shelter immediately if you live in the affected area. It's very far from radar site, so it's gonna be very hard to tell whether or not a tornado is imminent or not. But with any tornado warning, you should treat it as if there's an imminent tornado. It's just impossible to get those low levels. Might be able to do this. Yeah, no. Okay, so, whew, yeah, no, we are insanely. We're only getting like the top half of the storm that we're actually able to see with radar. So it is very safe to assume that it's probably rotating towards the surface. So if you live in Bakita, please take shelter immediately. Again, tornado warning in effect for Bakita, Minnesota. Sorry, I thought I heard something. Bakita. I'm assuming it's Bakita. Wait, what? Okay, that's weird. Okay. Alright, I saw something odd. Let me take a look at mental analysis here. No, I didn't. What did I do? Oh, I accidentally opened up the archive. Okay. Let me pull up my little window that I had for forecasting because I still have that open. We can look at what the conditions are currently across the tornado warning area. See whether or not how probable a future probability for a tornado is outside of just this storm in particular. But again, tornado warning does remain in effect for Bakita. Let me switch it over on OBS real fast. That's on. Go to analyst. Switch this to mesoscale analysis. Boom, there we go. Okay. Yeah, look at that. Oh, sorry. I'm looking at the wrong thing. So, storms are mostly out of the risk area. They don't really pose a whole lot of threat anymore, but again, tornado warning does remain in effect, so they do pose some threat. But if you look at our 850 millibar for our low level jet, very weak low level jet out of the south, out of the west southwest here, only about 20 knots of 850 millibar flow. 700 millibar. I mean, yeah, I mean, you can kind of tell that we do have a very weak low level jet there, but it's not very good. What was that? Oh, it was just a chord. Surface-based cape. Doesn't want to load. Yeah, we don't really have a whole lot of surface-based cape. I mean, we do have some surface-based. Wait, hold on. Where even is the storm? It's further north, right? Let me just double check. Where's Makita? Yeah, no, it's further north. Okay. Let me get another refresher. Yeah, not really, really still not a whole lot of 850 millibar flow, but it is very close to the. It's actually weaker compared to further down south. We have about 15 knots of 850 millibar flow, but it is closer to the surface low, so we're gonna have a little bit more synoptic lift overall. Same with 700 millibars. Hello, STN guy, Sten guy 77. Welcome. Sorry I butchered that name. I mean, okay, yeah, we definitely have sufficient instability for a tornado threat for the north, just lacking the shear quite a bit. We don't even really have like great effective storm relative velocity or directional shear across this region. We really don't. Sorry. So very marginal tornado threat. If the tornado is gonna be produced from this thing, it's gonna be very brief. Let me switch back over. All right, there we go. I keep accidentally opening up radar scope. Where's the velocity is working? Okay, velocity is working again. But again, tornado warning does remain in effect for Makita. Oh, okay, we were looking at some earlier frames, but here's here's what it looks like now. Not bad. I definitely think it deserves that tornado warning, especially given the fact that it's next to near impossible. It's next to near impossible to actually um see what it looks like at the surface because of how far away it is from any radar site. You have these two cells here developing along I'm assuming some sort of boundary that I'm not noticing. I thought the severe risk was mostly over here. Let me just double check that. Nah, I spoke a little too soon. Still have that severe risk on set for this region. I think earlier models were showing a bit. It was kind of functioning. Or sorry, there. What I read function somewhere and it just locked into my brain and I said it by accident. What am I trying to say? Trying to say it seemed there was a lack of convection overall, it appeared. It seemed dysfunctional. However, I don't know. I guess there was some uncertainty given that cold pool, but it does seem like storms are gonna initiate and continue to initiate across this region. So should certainly try to watch for some sort of tornado risk. Sorry. Um, Especially given a very weak low level jet and sufficient instability across this region. Definitely gonna be sufficient for some sort of tornado threat across Minnesota. We did the forecasting earlier in the live stream. If anyone is curious about that and they want to tune back to that, we did the forecasting earlier. A couple of severe thunderstorm warnings down in, I think, Louisiana. Take a look at that real fast. Great. Another one of the United States' biggest radar holes right on the Amarillo Texas border area. It's just mostly damaging wind gusts, 60 mile per hour winds, maybe a little bit of embedded hail, but mostly just damaging wind gusts. Wish we had better radar sight, but we don't. We don't have any better radar sight. We're kind of stuck looking at it from this distance. Oh my gosh, that's insane. I just posted my short video earlier and it's already like it's already whew, it's insane. It's already got a ton of views. It already has almost, I think, more views than my other short video, and that was posted a couple of days ago, and it got like 600 views over the course of like 3 days. This one already has 600 views, and I posted it today, I think. Posted it today, right? Yeah, I did. And people love that. It's awesome. Happy about that. But again, tornado warning does remain in effect for Bakita, Minnesota here. We're not going to be able to give too many details about it, too much information other than what the NWS puts out, because it's so far from the radar sites. Can't really get a good view on it towards the surface. Oh no. There's no way. Oh man. Y'all bot needs to be taken behind the barn and put down. This isn't good. Y'all bot, I guess earlier today, I think, posted something somewhere. I think it was on Blue Sky, where y'all bot posted, someone, I guess, submitted a photo of of a famous photo of El Reno, the El Reno 2013 EF3, and posted saying, "Great shot from Shivan Patel in Dallas, Texas, earlier this evening. Impressive storm structure and potential block cloud visible as severe weather moves through the area. We're monitoring this closely. Hashtag Yell Squad." And then has the photo attached, which is kind of funny, because one, Yolbot is doing its job, is doing what it is supposed to do, surprisingly well, actually. I mean, you'd have to kind of squint your eyes, tilt your head to really tell that there's a tornado there, I think, with that photo. But it said potential wall cloud. I feel like it should have said wall cloud at the very least, because that is very obviously some sort of area of rotation. It doesn't really seem to be taking the whole picture, though. Oh, that's a beautiful tornado photo. Oh man. Again, tornado warning does remain in effect for Bakita, Minnesota. This is nearing the town. Can't really get too many details on it though, because of how far away it is from the radar side, but we'll keep an eye on it. What's this? Oh, that's the current live stream. I don't really care too much about that. I'm trying to get rid of what I don't need, because I've done like back to back to back live streams over the last 3 days, which I'm fine with. I mean, they can be a little annoying whenever no one really tunes in. But I mean, I'm kind of used to that at this point. Because it gives me a chance to work, opposed to actually answering questions. Because I do have stuff I am trying to do. I hate how the majority of my views are coming from shorts, though. Don't really like that. Wait, I don't know why they said 900 earlier. It's kind of funky. I don't know why it's only 600. Oh, for some reason in YouTube Studio it says 944. It's a little funky, but that's okay. But I am trying to make content more often though, so I do need some sort of incentive to actually make videos. This is my incentive. Tornado warning does remain in effect for Makita, though it's still definitely deserving of a tornado warning. I really can't give you too many details, because there's really... Bakita is also a very, very, very tiny township. Only a couple of, only a couple of townhomes. So it is still mostly rural areas, but Bakita and tornado warning for Bakita. I highly doubt anyone for Bakita is watching. Actually, no one is watching, so no one's watching right now. So I think it is safe. I think it's safe to assume that no one from Bakita is currently tuned in. Still tornado warning for Bakita. Prince Walty's chasing right now. Let's see what he's up to. He's just chasing. Yeah, just chasing around. He's chasing some pretty messy storms right now. I think he's probably chasing for structure more than anything else right now, which is definitely the right call to make, especially if you can't get down to Western Texas that quickly. Speaking of Western Texas, let's look at some of these other storms. Still some massive hail with a lot of these. It's insanely huge hail. Got a couple of messy storms and some huge hailers in the mix. Some large hail, like 1.17 inches, just to this, just southwest of Chugwater. Two little cells there, some huge hail. Also, severe thunderstorm warning for Rock River, Wyoming, with 2.45 inches of hail, or 2.45 inch hail. That's big. So, as well as Bolster. or wait, no, sorry, Bosler, Wyoming. And we can also drop south, see what's going on in Colorado. Smaller hail, less severe storms, mostly damaging wind gusts, it appears. To the north of Genoa, Ariba, Flagler, and Lehman. Actually, that's where Vince Walty is currently, near Lehman. But those storms kind of suck, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if he's just passing through to go south or what. Unless he went north for these storms. He said he ditched the Pueblo storms, I think. I don't remember if he, I can't remember what he said. I don't remember if he said he's going to Pueblo, if he ditched it for Pueblo, but I don't know what he's gonna get out of these either. Let's see. That's what weather models are for. Get pivotal weather, good old check. You're expected to, yeah, those are expected to see some decent upscale growth later on in the afternoon, it appears. Either these storms or these as well. Could be either or. But it is pumping out a solution where the storms to the north here in Wyoming kind of form an MCS and race their way southeast, probably turning into more of a damaging wind threat. Oh, there's a tornado warning for western Texas. I missed all these severe thunderstorm warnings. Oh yeah, would you look at that? Severe tornado warning for Lum's Chapel and Withdrawal. If you live in the affected area, please take shelter immediately. Again, that's Lum's Chapel and Withdrawal, Texas. To have some very obvious rotation here. No indication that's currently on the ground based on correlation coefficient, but definitely rotating and could put a tornado down at any time. Definitely has that, not, I wouldn't say textbook, but a classic supercell sort of structure here, that hook and inflow channel. Rotation does appear to be getting more messy, but don't put your, I wouldn't put your eggs in, I wouldn't count your eggs before they hatch though, so just take shelter immediately if you live in Lum's Chapel or Withdrawal. 2.63-inch hail on this storm in particular. So even if we don't see a tornado coming out of the storm, which you should be sheltering for, regardless of whether or not one's on the ground, making the shelter, or at least get indoors from this huge hail that's gonna be coming through. Wait, why does it say these are disabled by owner? I don't want those to be disabled by owner. How do I turn that off? I want to be able to see the dislikes. Sweet. Kind of bottoming out at around 950 views, which is still insane. That's huge. Very happy about the performance of that short video. Again, tornado warning does remain in effect for Lum's Chapel and Withdrawal, Texas. Rotation still doesn't appear to be the best. It's very messy. But again, don't count your eggs before they hatch, because even if there isn't a whole lot of a tornado threat immediately, at least immediately from the storm in particular, could wrap up, time back up, produce some sort of tornado risk very quickly, especially given the instability. Well, it would be more, well, that would be more driven by shear, but I mean, we certainly have sufficient shear. Definitely take shelter immediately, and regardless of tornado threat, still need to at least get indoors. But again, take shelter because of tornado threat, but at least get indoors, because of the huge hail that's gonna be on the storm now, indicating up to 3.14 inches. That's huge. That's huge. That's huge hail. Let's check back up on tornado warning up in Minnesota. It is still there. Yep, tornado warning does continue for Bakita. Thankfully, it does appear that it probably wound down for I'm not gonna say anything too specific about this because I really can't give you any information outside of the fact that there is a tornado warning for Bakita and you should take shelter because of just how far away from the radar side it is. So we can't really see anything too clearly at this distance. But that really doesn't matter. You should be taking shelter anyways. Alright, okay. I'm gonna upload this real fast. Yeah, I'm kind of behind on uploading it. Okay, tornado warning did expire. But there is still a tornado warning further south, so we'll take a look at that. I don't know how long it's been expired. I've kind of been working on some other stuff right now. Tornado warning does continue for Lumps Chapel and Withdrawal. Appears to be that this is probably the new couplet taking hold of the mesocyclone. Probably going to be what's driving the tornado warning from now. I'm not necessarily sure if this actually constitutes a tornado warning or not based on intensity and placement. It also may just be outflow dominant as well. That's also a very big possibility. Just might need to watch up in here though. Even though, yeah, never mind. We don't need to watch up in there. Tornado warning. Yeah, tornado threat seems to be negligible for this storm now. Looks like it's turning back into a damaging. It looks like it's gusting out, but still some massive hail on this thing. 2.59 inches. Not as big as the 3 inches it was saying earlier, but 2.59 inch like diameter inch hail inches in diameter. That's big. That is real big. Like you just see on reflectivity. That's a lot of hail. That's some big hail too for Lumps Chapel and Withdrawal. So even if the tornado threat looks like it's mostly diminished right now, it doesn't look like there's an immediate threat for a tornado. Lumps Chapel and Withdrawal definitely need to be taking shelter regardless for some hail. That huge hail is going to be going through. And Lumps Chapel and Withdrawal, definitely a big threat for hail. We can look at some of these other storms here. This one might, ooh, I wonder if this one might get the tornado warning here soon. Look at that. Look at that rotation. You can clearly see an inflow hook, inflow notch here, and obvious hook, and some rotation as well. And it's not necessarily lined up with where the hook is, but it is definitely rotating between the RFD and the inflow there. And rotating pretty strong too. I wonder if this might get the tornado warn. We can kind of check as well, see what it looks like in the upper levels. If we give it the good old slice test. Actually, I wanna do it like that. What? Where'd it go? Okay, cross section. It's not showing you the volume explorer for some reason. Annoying, but okay, I'll look at it and then I'll report back. I need a different slice because the one I got was dumb. Interesting seeing the storms from this perspective though. Quite awesome. Quite awesome actually, I will say. Good to see the inflow, how the updraft curves over the inflow and then turns into the downdraft. It's very cool. There's also a lot of hail in this thing. A lot of hail. Oh yeah, it's certainly right. It does appear to certainly be rotating. I wonder if this will get the tornado warning. We need to watch this. Fortunately, I can't show you that, but I did try. Some very large hail in the storm too. 3.18 inches. It's big. Some decently sized hail in this storm to the north of Happy, to the south of Og. There's some odd town names. 1.52 inches. The radar site. That one. So we can get a better look from here. Still looks to be a lot of the same. Yeah, some big hail in there. Look at that. Look at that correlation coefficient. There's no longer tornado warning, so we can remove that. Let's go up here. Yeah, no signs of any sort of tornado threat right now. Actually, barely looks like there's even any, remotely any directional shear in the atmosphere right now. There's no obvious threat for any tornado, at least right now, until maybe the low level jet kicks in later. It's also kicking out outflow boundaries like crazy, so very outflow dominant storms, also hailing as well. Very much just a threat for large hail. And then to the north here as well, shoo, some big hail. 3.8 inches, 3.08. Sorry, not 3.8. That'd be even bigger. These storms up here aren't looking as good as they were previously. These might turn into some sort of MCS, though, is what models are calling for. Storms organizing some sort of linear feature that moves south. And there's a severe thunderstorm warning up. Sorry, northwestern Minnesota. God, I don't know why my stomach hates me right now. And I don't know why I'm making these sounds either, but it's like I'm trying to hiccup, but it's not letting me. Severe thunderstorm warning for appears to be mostly damaging wind gusts. Yeah, 60 mile per hour wind gusts. Some relatively small hail. Holy cow, for some reason I thought there was a massive severe thunderstorm warning, but it's not. It's the slight risk outline. It's funny. But yeah. Still need to monitor here for isolated tornado threat. For now, I suppose we'll keep our eyes on this storm, because or just these storms in general. Sorry, my dog wants in. There we go. Ooh. This is still only considerable severe thunderstorm. Still only considerable. You know what? Oh, I love my dog. It's very cute. I don't like my sister's dog though. You guys know that already. I do need to have a bunch of extra thumbnails I really don't need. Need these. Oops. Don't need these. Don't need this. Especially don't need that. It's a huge little file that I do not need. The storm chasing thing. I can get rid of these as well. They're already on YouTube. Oh, yeah, I'll get rid of this too. I don't know why I was holding on to that. I'll keep the thumbnail for today, because I don't know if there might be issues with it later, and I don't know if I'll need to have it for something. But actually here, go to screenshots. Oh, it's all in documents. Forgot about that. All right, now I have to. What? Oh, it's a little annoying. Oh my god, what do people want from me? Oh. Thanks, Snapchat. Ooh, we might need to watch this. Look at that. Little inflow notch kind of punching in here. And I keep getting... What, dude? I really don't want my sister's dog in here. He's so annoying. Oops, sorry. I feel so bad for anyone that does any sort of content creation, because for some reason everyone seems to think everything is AI now. Like the first comment on... This dog's gonna drive me nuts. The first comment on Ricky Forbes' new YouTube short video that just went out, it's like, we really hate AI, and like possibly the worst grammar ever, and then 2 American flag emojis. And they also had a bunch of odd punctuation. I had like some commas and some periods in some weird areas, and a bunch of them too. Like, I'm almost half convinced that the person that left the comment is AI themselves, that they're just a bot. But I feel real bad that everyone just thinks everyone is AI now just because it looks slightly unbelievable or a little too crazy for their liking. Not good. But kind of just gonna keep an eye on these storms right now. I got some huge hail. Oh my lord! Sorry, I need to let my sister dog in before I actually lose my mind. Here. Better lay down. I'm not gonna become an attention slave for you, dog. Swear one of these days I will end up going on a rant about this dog and why I do not like it, but for now I won't have that on my channel. But there's more to the story than just simply being annoyed by his constant need for attention. There is more to the story, I promise you. It's about why we even had the dog in the first place. But again, I'm not gonna talk about it on stream, but 10.5 hours. Oh my god. I would I love that. Sorry, there was something else. Oh. So no tornado warning elsewhere. Got a couple severe thunderstorm warnings down here though. Down in the Amarillo Texas area. Kinda I think we looked at them earlier, but just in a bad spot to look in. Got some prefrontal development, but mostly damaging wind gust threat. Maybe trying to get some embedded rotation going on, but there's really not the shear for it across the Amarillo Texas region. Mostly just a damaging wind gust threat there. Damaging wind, severe damaging winds. Keep our eyes on this storm because it looks most interesting. A lot of these storms are kicking out some powerful outflow boundaries, like this one did, I think. Okay, great. It's not gonna let me see the other frames. That's wonderful. Okay. Be funky. Be funky. I have to pick and choose from my bajillion photos from June 21st, which ones I want to use as my thumbnail. That's the 22nd. What? Wait. Oh, because that's from the 17th. Okay, now these are the ones I can use. All right, so we'll go with this one here. 210, 610. Actually, let me just look through them. Make sure there's not any better ones. Okay, actually, it does look like there are some better ones. I don't know why I chose the crappiest looking one. Actually, okay, we'll go with this. 16 by 9. Red certainly blends it too much. Yellow will also do the same. We'll go with pink. See, this is 211,739. 211,739. Are you just live every day? Well, for the most part, probably, yeah. Probably be live probably every day, depending on how I feel. Simply because, well, I need to get my numbers up. I really do. I need to try to start making money off this channel. I can't do that if at 400 something subscribers. So I kind of do need to grind. But hey, I mean, I'm here for it, I guess. I suppose. This is what I do. This is what I do. And I'm hella fucking good at it too. Yup. That's the plan. Like I do need to try to start making money off this channel one way or another. I'm not letting 3 years of experience and work and dedication to this channel go to waste just because I felt burnt out between 2022, 2023, most of 2024, most of 2025. Wait, sorry, not 2023. Just because I felt burnt out between through 2024 and 2025 and the beginning of 2026. Plus, I got ideas. I got ideas now, and I know how to make it work now. I just need the money to do so, which is why I'm trying to get in a place where I can actually make money off this channel, because I need money to actually execute those ideas. I mean, I do have a job and stuff. I was just at work earlier today, but for some reason my paycheck didn't come in today. This is obnoxious because I was gonna do something with my paycheck today and it didn't come in. I don't know why it didn't come in. It might be because I tried to set up the direct deposit thing. They didn't send a check, I guess. But oop. Yeah, I know, but so does also just being consistent with it. Like just being consistent with it in general just kind of gets you burned out, especially if like I mean it takes time, but I've also been at this for like I don't know how many years now, since 2023, and I've been live streaming, trying to do live stream stuff for a while now. Every time I'm on live, it tends to be the most actually like demeaning thing on this planet because no one it's very rare that people tune in. So I'm mostly kind of just talking to myself for hours on end. Um, but hey, I mean, the longer I talk to myself hours on end on live, the more opportunity it gives for people to actually ask questions, tune in, and get interested and grow the channel. So, I mean, I'm having to get used to it one way or another. But sometimes it does feel like I'm locked in like a solitary confinement cell with just being told to sit in a chair and stare at radar all day, but that's okay. It's what I do. It is what I do. Maybe try to make clips that could be funny. Yeah, but then I don't want to be like clip farming though, because that sounds a little crazy. That's sort of what I've been doing, like taking the stuff that I did a while back and making clips about it, or turning it into like short form content, like making YouTube shorts. Um, and I have ideas for how I can keep that going, but right now there's not really a whole lot I can really make a short video of. I pretty much burned through all my possible short content with the little video that I had when we were chasing on the 17th and then also March 10th. Those were my biggest days for storm chasing on this channel, March 10th and June 17th. As for the paycheck thing though, you got a funny video? You got a funny video of me. Of me. Little old me, you got a funny video of me. I highly doubt that. You did an accent? Yeah, for some reason it just that does that sometimes. It just does that. Like I don't. I was talking to my dad about this in the car because he was talking about how I don't really have a southern accent, even though I'm from the South. And I told him like, oh, it just sometimes happens. It just sometimes occurs. It's like a quick time event. Just sometimes happens, and there's really no way for me to stop it. And I guess it just happened. It just sometimes happens. I mean, I can easily just like recreate a southern accent just on a whim, but it's really rare for it to actually appear like when I'm just speaking naturally. Like I can easily force one, but it doesn't sound as natural. Sometimes it happens just out of nowhere. That's so real. Yeah. It's that a 7 out of 10 rage bait. That's what someone replied to me with on something. Let me check. What was I doing? Said about it's not even rage bait, my guy. That's just the truth, the cold hard truth. Oh man, you randomly go Scottish, dude. That's actually that's actually hilarious. I've never heard you do it though. And then you sent me the thing. Let me see. Oh, full halt back on the interstate. I do remember saying that. I vividly remember saying that when we were sitting on the side of the road. I vividly remember that. I forced that one though, cause it just cause I forced that accent there though. But really doesn't take much effort for me to do one. Actually, so one of my friends made me play Doki Doki Literature Club and stream it to them over Discord a while back. And I read out every single line that I was reading in that southern accent. And it was the funniest thing ever for me for some reason. For some reason, it was the funniest thing to me. It is funny. I do love it. But yeah, I've never heard you actually do the Scottish accent before. But right now, I am working on a thumbnail for um for what am I trying to say? The rerun of the live stream of the outbreak that we had 2 days ago, the 21st. I am making 3 different thumbnails to do the A/B test with, ABC test or whatever you want to call it. I need just one more. If you say Scottish or vodka for some reason, you'll do it in an accent. Dude, that's hilarious. That's actually, dude, I'm surprised I haven't heard it yet. I'm surprised. So I feel like I've heard you say vodka. Oh, never mind. For some reason I'm thinking of Cairo. Never mind. I don't know why, but I was misremembering something between you and Cairo. Well, between me and Cairo. What is this? 21. Wait, it's 230157. It's this one. Ooh, that's a sweet thumbnail. I love that. I need to make a new playlist for this one. Boom. New video out. Sweet. Okay. From talking to someone with an accent, I'll copy them without thinking. Or if I hear a show with accents. That makes sense. That does make sense. I feel like I might be in that same boat because I think I tend to do that whenever I hear someone with a southern accent. I'll end up also doing a southern accent by accident or without even really thinking about it. But I think only slightly. Still some huge hail on a lot of these storms. How's the MCS production up here going? It's kind of trying. Let's see what models have in store. Is it still producing the same solution? Assuming they are, but let me check. It's not as potent as earlier. Now they're just some now they're just some very potent output boundaries. Like, oh man, those are some crazy output boundaries. But what it is getting us at here is that down in the hold on, I'll just show you guys. Let me switch to this. Okay. So I can switch to HRRR. Wait. I don't know if I want that HRRR. I have 2 HRRR. I want SPC mesoanalysis. That's what I want. Okay, boom. Here we are. HRRR. most recent. It's no longer looking like we're gonna see a crazy MCS be pumped out of Wyoming here. Definitely see some upscale growth as it moves south. More widespread rain showers, with some embedded hail and damaging wind gusts, severe damaging winds. But it looks like we might see some continued upscale growth further south and maybe even back west, back towards the Rockies, even after these storms are already ongoing as they continue east, which is kind of surprising given the fact that we are supposed to see a lot of convective inhibition. See, look at that. It's a lot of convective inhibition. So I'm not entirely certain. Not entirely certain how likely it is for these storms to fire. It does look like the cap might be a bit weaker. It might give it a chance for storms to fire, though I'm not sure if there's even really a boundary. There's sort of a boundary. It's a little bit of a dry line, I think. If anything, they could just fire off the outflow boundaries that are being shoved off those storms. The current storms that are ongoing, they may fire off the outflow boundaries. I could see some later development further into south central, and southeast Colorado. However, the current round of severe weather that's currently ongoing across the Texas Panhandle, western Texas, does appear like it is going to be the last and slowly die out over the next couple of hours. Doesn't really look like there's going to be any more upscale growth as that cap gets put back in place. Severe weather that's currently ongoing back towards the Amarillo Texas region is likely going to continue to dissipate. May see some more upscale growth as the boundaries draped across Oklahoma into the Amarillo Texas region, where we could see maybe some isolated hail and some strong damaging wind gusts. But it appears that those storms are probably going to move back down to Mississippi. And some of the Dixie states have some rain showers and some gusty winds. But we might see a big MCS like feature, probably not an MCV, but probably a MCS at the very least, or just at the very least, just some sort of system with gusty winds, very heavy rain showers, definitely a flooding threat that's going to exist with this as it moves into Kansas and Oklahoma. And maybe some embedded hail, maybe an isolated tornado threat, but I'm not too sure about that. Okay, never mind. I take that back. I take that statement back about the isolated tornado threat. That sounding put me in my place. That atmospheric sounding. So yeah, just some gusty, damaging wind gusts and a flooding threat on top of maybe some isolated hail and heavy rain showers as the system moves into Kansas and Oklahoma. They changed the size of the enhanced risk. Looks like this now. It's no longer extending into Colorado. Or sorry, not Colorado. Into Wyoming. There's a hail report of 1 inch. Kind of find it funny that they just put boxes of severe thunderstorm warnings around these storms. They're not really giving them a polygon. They're kind of slow moving enough for them not to really deserve a polygon. I mean, this storm in particular has kind of been sitting here for a very long time. Only now do I think it's latched onto its own outflow boundaries, is beginning to move again. It's kind of what we're sitting with for a while. It's going to be what we're sitting with for probably the rest of the night, actually. There's going to be a very minimal tornado threat with these storms. One does exist, but probably not going to be too substantial. I'll have to get the screenshots for the thumbnail for this stream later. Well, I can actually probably do them because we really don't. We're not sitting here. We're kind of just sitting here doing absolutely nothing. I'm not gonna lie. I just like to have all this stuff on record. That's why I'm turning it into videos and stuff. Plus, I did get this comment a little while back on one of my videos. One of my old videos, actually. I don't get too many videos. I should be able to find it. Let me go look around. Comments. Few more. It's One Nation Weather. I haven't heard that name in a while. He's doing quite good. He does look like he might be struggling to remain consistent though. Got 10,000 subscribers though. That's not small potatoes. He's doing good. I can't find the comment anymore, but interesting. But a while back someone did post a comment on one of my videos saying that they enjoyed like listening to, I don't know, like just listening to like I guess like I think severe weather coverage or forecasting just in the background, like, is something to listen to, which I found interesting. So while I also like to keep it on record, I mean, if no one really watches the videos, at the very least, someone might listen to them as background noise, which I'm okay with. Oh, that's what you're doing right now as you play VRC. That makes sense. I If I'm having a hard time falling asleep, I'll put on Nile Red. I don't know if you know Nile Red, the little chemist guy that turns stuff into other stuff. I'll like end up listening to him as I go to sleep for some reason. I don't know why, but for some reason his videos are very relaxing. They almost put me to sleep one time, and I think that's what's stuck in my brain. On the fishing world, I played that once or twice. They're I don't really like them a whole lot. Kind of boring. Kind of just stand in one spot and kind of just twirl your arms around. But I mean, to each their own. DVD size hail west of Canyon, Texas. Oh man, holy shit. That is a lot of hail, and huge hail too. Oh, wait. Oh, that's Jordan Hall. Okay. Gotta play with people. Yeah, you're right about that. Never mind. I don't wanna I'm gonna hold my words for now. Oh shit. Oh, that was February 17th. Never mind. I'm very jealous of all the people that are in that are out chasing right now. Because I've never played with people. Well, why is that? I mean, surely could just join a public world, right? This guy's a media tab? Oh my god. Okay. Don't want to play. Wait, what? Tryhards on a fishing game? How? Oh no. There just are. It's weird. I'm gonna need to know what a try hard on a fishing game looks like. How do you try hard a fishing game? I don't know, but apparently you found out already, so. I'm not sure what my Twitter feed is. Some of it's funny, some of it's just plain weird. What? Plus, I haven't found anyone to play it with me. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. These storms up here are kind of fizzling out. Up here, they look like they are as well. Yeah. What about these? These ones? Yeah, kind of doing the same thing. Dying down. The cap is taking hold. Still some large hail on these storms, though. About further south. Extremely messy upflow, or inflow sector. An updraft area, so probably not gonna see too much of a tornado throughout that one, despite looking like it has some sort of hook. Large hail, though, very large hail on that. Same with up here as well, near Underwood, Hail Center, Abernathy, and then further south. Oh, sorry. Feels like my soul's trying to leave my body constantly. Level land. Okay, I don't know how people get mad at Max Velocity for butchering names when some of the names, some of these town names in the United States or some bullshit like this. Like, how do you even say that? Opdyke West and Klein. I don't even know. And Sundown, very large hail, en route for those towns in western Texas. I think there's a lot of towns in not West Virginia, in Louisiana that I was having an absurdly hard time extremely hard time pronouncing. For towns like whatever the hell this is. I can't remember what state it was, but for some reason there was a state that had a disproportionate amount of names that were just impossible to read. I have a severe thunderstorm warning, 2 severe thunderstorm warnings for Florida here, Panhandle, Florida, for Midway, and nearing Tallahassee, with some marginal hail But mostly some damaging wind gusts. Mostly warned for 60 mile per hour damaging wind gusts just to the west of Tallahassee, Florida. Severe thunderstorm warning for extremely northwestern Louisiana here. Ooh, okay, never mind. It died instantly. Um, at least what I was looking at died instantly. The storm's still going strong. Mostly warned for damaging wind gusts as well. Probably 60 to 70 miles per hour. What is this warned for? It's not telling me. 60 mile per hour wind gusts and quarter size tail. I doubt the quarter size tail is actually there. It doesn't look like it. But certainly some strong damaging wind gusts with that storm. Like if you look at that bow echo. Also flash flood warning, flash flood warnings behind this thing. Let's see. Back to Texas. Yeah, a lot of the same thing. We'll go back to Colorado here. Colorado. Oh man, I just realized we've been stuck on pivotal weather for a while now. Whoops. Let me fix that. There we go. Okay. I'll go back over everything I just said because I accidentally had a triple R covering the screen for the last, I don't even know how long. Roughly last 20 minutes actually. So these storms are mostly dying out. Especially this one, kind of fizzling away, kind of split, now it's dying. I mean, you do have some big hail on this northern system here, but it is kind of drifting north. 3.16-inch hail on that storm. Mostly rural areas to the north of Last Chance and Linden. Then up north into Wyoming, storms up here mostly died out as well. Maybe some pea-sized hail, some strong damaging wind gusts, and some heavy rainfall, but otherwise nothing really too severe with those storms. Further south, what we kind of been looking at least what I've been looking at behind the triple R till now, are these storms here. Got some large hail on these, 2-inch hail on this storm back towards just to the east of Wigwam, just over the radar site, southeast of the radar site of KPUX, to the north of Boone and Fowler. Got some smaller hail on this, perhaps, but nice bow echo on it, so it's damaging wind gusts associated with that storm in particular. Down into Texas here, there's more shear, so some of these storms are kind of forming hook echo-like structures, but a lot of their like inflow sectors and updraft areas are not very organized. They're very messy. Like this is extremely messy. This is not conducive for tornadoes, but does have some big hail in there. It's calling for 2.37-inch hail on the storm particular at this moment, with recent reports indicating 2.75-inch hail, and that's for Sundown and Kalani, Texas. To the north, Underwood, Alley, and Abernathy. Got some large hail on that, 0.85-inch hail. Got some severe thunderstorms, northwestern, extremely far northwestern Louisiana and eastern Texas. Mostly just strong damaging wind gusts, mostly outflow dominant storms, with some heavy rainfall, some gusty winds. For places like Gillum, Plain Dealing, Bollinger, Belcher, Mooring Sport, moving into Benton and Aden Bridge here soon. But you can kind of tell based off just the shape of those storms, they're probably not going to be seeing too much of a tornado threat with that. The ingredients already don't really exist. We don't have the shear for much of a tornado threat over here. It's also kicking out an outflow boundary as well, so that is going to further diminish its tornado potential, if there was even any to begin with, which there really wasn't. Got two severe thunderstorm warnings just to the west of Tallahassee, Florida. and Midway, Florida as well. Or it does include Midway, Florida. These are mostly just some gusty showers. Severe damaging wind gusts upwards of 60 miles per hour. It is also warning for penny-sized hail, but I'm not seeing that. Just some heavy rainfall. Um, there's a severe thunderstorm warning up in Minnesota. You can take us there real fast. Oh, it's actually near radar site this time. Severe thunderstorm warning for Fairfax, Gibbon, moving towards St. George, Lafayette, and Klausner, and New Ulm as well, just to the north of Sleepy Eye. With this storm in particular actually indicating 1.2-inch hail, and being warned for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts as well. I doubt we're going to see too much of a tornado threat with these storms anymore, even though that's kind of where we were watching for tornadoes originally. We were looking at Western Texas. The start of the live stream, we're mostly watching Western Texas and then Minnesota as well for the greatest potential for tornadoes, but that threat is mostly diminished. Now, the very rare possibility of an isolated tornado or a marginal tornado threat does exist for some of these areas into the later afternoon hours, but it's really going to have a hard time persisting with the longer storms go on, as that cap continues to get stronger and stronger across the region as convective inhibition just dog piles on top of these storms. That's why these storms are kind of dying out, because there's a lot of convective inhibition taking hold. Let's see what the most recent HRRR saying. And it's still giving us quite a bit of upscale growth, mostly just damaging wind and hail risk. Let me switch back to HRRR so I can actually show you the forecast. I promise I won't leave it on HRRR this time though. I have two HRRRs open. Let me get rid of one. There we go. Most recent HRRR run. Low level jet. Gonna see a weak low level jet can persist across Western Texas. Well, a decently strong low level jet persists across Western Texas. However, shouldn't really see too much of a tornado threat given the strong convective inhibition that's going to be overlaying this region here soon, and already is actually. And then a very weak low level jet across southeastern Colorado, where we might have best potential for a marginal tornado threat. However, again, a lot of convective inhibition across that region. Maybe look at SIGTOR. What's SIGTOR giving us? SIGTOR is certainly given us the possibility of some sort of tornado threat materializing some of these storms. However, they do appear like they're going to be mostly outflow dominant. So if we are going to see a tornado threat, these storms is going to be very brief and very short-lived. But a lot of these storms might be quite explosive if they can actually get going, given the convective inhibition. If they can get going, because look at this. There's a ton of convective inhibition across this region. A lot. It's dogpiling our environment right now. It's not going to get any weaker either. The time we're going to see it get weaker is as storms move into southeastern Oklahoma, which I'm not going to be live for that. Tomorrow, we do see the possibility of an isolated tornado threat materializing across southern Wisconsin and northern Illinois. And then also a risk for isolated tornadoes across same areas we've been watching over the last couple of days. Wyoming, Nebraska Panhandle, Colorado. All right, let me switch us back to GR2 analyst. I promised I was not going to leave you guys stuck looking at. Wait, hold on. Hey, there you go. That's better. Oh, we actually can upgrade our risks on here to destructive severe thunderstorm warning. And I'll set our eyes on that one real fast. Well, that will be the one we watch. Is this severe thunderstorm warning right here? This storm right here does have a destructive tag on it. So Needmore and Meadow. Even if there's not a whole lot of a tornado threat with this storm, should probably take shelter immediately. At the very least, get inside because, whew, man, there's a huge hail on this storm. Huge hail. 2-inch hailstones. That's no joke. That can do some serious damage. But yeah, just kind of keep our eyes on the storm for now, given it's the one of the most important. Almost been streaming for 4 hours. It's a lot. It's a lot of time. Stream's doing pretty good though. I am happy. 76 views on just this stream in particular. Oh man, I'm happy with those numbers. A lot of time. I spent a lot of time with this. My favorite pastime is staring at colored pixels. Different colored pixels. 195429. I'm gonna try a different approach to editing our live stream that we did yesterday. I'm gonna try to put a little bit more effort into it. Just cut out all the unimportant stuff and like all the silence so it's not as annoying. Also, Ray, if you don't mind, I need you to do a quick experiment for me. If you could you go to like just like the videos page of my channel, take a screenshot of like the most recent 3 videos like thumbnail like on the same screen and send it to me because the thumbnails are very blurry on my end for some reason, and I've heard that it's only on my end for some reason. I just want to make sure it's not on everyone's end. It's just on my end. Okay, they are slightly blurry, I think, which I don't enjoy that. I don't enjoy that fact. That's okay though. Thank you. I appreciate it. Stop your fishing and everything. I appreciate it. I think the thumbnails are fine. The screenshot's a little blurry, but all the thumbnails in that screenshot look equally as blurry, so I'm assuming it's okay. I don't want to title my thing severe weather like I've done a bajillion times in the past, so I need to figure out some sort of different name. For the reruns, I'll just cut out all the silent parts. It scared me. My phone scared the crap out of me. Let me fix this. Oops, not that. I want to fix this text. There we go. It wasn't lined up properly. Boo. Ah! Oh my god, this is so dumb. My stickers for my car finally out for delivery. I regret doing business with the company that I did. I'm not gonna name the business on the stream. I was talking about it earlier because I know I'll get flamed for it. Maybe like 20 years down the line, if someone watches this live stream again, maybe they'll flame me for it. But they've fallen off. They've really fallen off. They used to be good, but I recently learned something after I already placed my order and paid for it and everything about some of their stuff, what they do. I learned more about them, and then also the fact that they have very long turnaround times apparently. Like it's not that bad per se, but it's also like I don't want to talk about it on stream because it's very, how do I say it? Sensitive. It's a very sensitive topic, but it's not nothing. It's not extreme. It's political. That's what it is. It's a political thing. Um, but basically, like I was supposed to receive my order today. It was supposed to be on my car today. I was supposed to already have those stickers on there. But because of something, I don't know why it's taking them this long. My order has like they only printed like the label for it, like the label for my order, and like it's now being shipped by UPS or something. I can track this shipment. They have my package. UPS finally has my package, and the label's been created today. Today. That only happened. I don't. I was supposed to get my package today, and now UPS has it today. That's like, they just got it today. That's ridiculous. That's an insanely long turnaround time. If I knew they would be this slow, I wouldn't have done business with them. Let me pull up weather-wise again. Considerable. Okay, yeah, no, we don't need this anymore. We can bump it back down to considerable. Our severe threat is mostly dying down, though. There's a mesoscale discussion. What does it say? Summary: scatter convection was increasing in coverage and exhibiting a slow movement over the past hour. Isolated flash flooding potential. Oh, it's a flash flooding mesoscale discussion. Don't care about that then. 1956-08. I don't like how small this image is. Do I not have a better photo? I do have a better photo. Why am I not using it then? Oh wait, hold on. I just remembered some more details about the thing that I read as I was thinking about the whole situation with this company, and I was trying to because I felt like there was more to the story. I just couldn't remember what it was. There is more to the story, and it's a lot. It's apparently more than just political. I don't know how true it is, but it's not good. It's certainly not good. I wouldn't want. I don't want it to happen to me. I would not want that. It's a lot worse than just having political views. I can tell you that right now. Uh, I just remembered what the details were. I just need to find proof of it though, because I don't really know how true it is. Okay, I have the thumbnails. The thumbnail's done. Alright. Let me give the current storms a little look over on pivotal weather again. Just to see. There's a new ARRR run currently in progress. Okay, so we're gonna see some upscale growth back towards southern Colorado. That might occur within the next 1 or 2 hours. And it's already 10:14 p.m. I'm not gonna stay up for that. So I'm gonna go to bed here, I think. I'm not thinking I'm gonna stay up any longer than what I currently am already. So I appreciate you for tuning in, Ray. I'll end up talking to you tomorrow. And I appreciate whoever else might be tuned in right now for tuning in. And supporting this channel and this live stream. And hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow with another live stream. Goodbye, guys.